Very good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about the potentiometers, which is a very important topic in your electrical and electronic instruments. It covers in the second unit of part 1. So I am going to divide the second unit of your electrical and electronic instruments subject into 3 parts. First part is potentiometer, second part is instrument transformers, third part is magnetic measurements. So these 3 are very important. Definitely from all the 3 parts, equally one big question will be asked. Okay, very important topics there. If you have any doubt, you can chat. You can ask the questions using chat. Okay. So we already studied potentiometers in our sensors transducer, our transducer subject. That potentiometers, what is basically potentiometers? Those potentiometers are mainly used for, this is a sensor, okay, a transducer. This transducer has 3 terminals. So input excitation, output is voltage. So this output voltage is directly proportional to the displacement X of the potentiometer. This shaft, this wiper, this is wiper contact. This is a resistive wire. So wire wound type of potentiometers. So these potentiometers mainly used for displacement applications. Okay. Whereas what we are going to discuss is slide wire type. It's also having slide wire contact, but it is the principle of operation is entirely different. So balanced bridge, like Wheatstone bridge, we are also going to balance the potentiometric bridge. So the basic principle of operation of the potentiometer is opposing of EMF. So there are basically in potentiometers, there are 2 circuitry. One is primary circuitry. I will show you. One is primary circuitry. Other one is secondary circuitry. The primary circuitry, it consists of a battery and a rheostat for current adjustment. Rheostat. This is a galvanometer. Okay, galvanometer for the deflection. Okay, the deflection of the bridge. So this is the source. This is the source battery or the unknown EMF. So this is a battery of well-known voltage, say mostly 3 volt or 3.2 voltage. So this is another source. This is the primary circuitry. Okay, this is the primary circuitry. So this arm is the primary circuitry. This is the secondary circuitry. In the secondary circuitry, we can connect the another EMF. So this EMF current is flowing through this side. This battery EMF flowing this side. So each EMF are opposing each other. When the galvanometer is reading 0, when galvanometer reading is 0, that means both EMFs are equal and opposite. So important point, please note in your mind, the terminal of the battery and the terminal of the unknown or standard cell should be same direction. So here positive means here also positive. Here negative. Okay. So what is the basic principle of potentiometer? To opposing of 2 EMF, one known EMF and unknown EMF. It consists of 2 circuits. Let me explain with the typical basic potentiometer. The application of these potentiometers unknown to find the unknown EMF. and compare of two unknown EMF, comparing, then potential drop across particular circuit. Say if we have a resistor here, through one current is current I is flowing. If you want to find the drop accurately, we can connect a potentiometer here. Okay, so potential difference across any circuit. Then comparing of EMF, two EMF, say EMF 1 and EMF 2, you can compare the EMF values. Then you can determine the unknown EMF. These are all the applications of main purpose of the slide wire potentiometer, what we are going to discuss today. Whereas these potentiometers are transducers, mainly useful for displacement applications. Okay, displacement measurement applications. Then you can use these potentiometers for measurement of current, measurement of voltage, and measurement of power, and measurement of energy. If you want to, if you could be able to measure the time, measurement of power and time. Then power and time is nothing but your energy. Okay, so we can use current, measurement of current, voltage, measurement of power. For these three applications, potentiometers are mainly used. Okay, so very important thing is we can also use the potentiometer for calibration of ammeter, calibration of voltmeter, calibration of wattmeter. So we are going to cover how the potentiometer works, then how a potentiometer can be used to measure current, voltage, power, then how a potentiometer is used to calibrate the ammeter, voltmeter, wattmeter. Okay, these are all important topic in DC potentiometer. Actually, basically, you can classify potentiometers based on sources, the source applied to the potentiometer and the detectors. Okay, if we excite the battery, AC DC battery, then it is called a DC potentiometer, and with galvanometer detection. In AC potentiometers, we normally use a single supply source, AC source, and vibrational galvanometers as a detectors. The main advantage of the potentiometers, with the high degree of accuracy, you can have more accuracy while calibrating with the potentiometers. So since potentiometers coming with inbuilt battery, there is no need of power supply. Even without power supply, you can calibrate the instruments, voltmeter, ammeter, wattmeter, or you can measure resistance, current, and power. So the types of potentiometers are DC potentiometer and AC potentiometer. The DC potentiometer, we are going to concentrate on basic operation DC potentiometer and Crompton's DC potentiometer. In AC potentiometers, we are going to cover two types of potentiometer: polar type potentiometer and coordinate type. Polar type potentiometer, and the example we are going to discuss is Drysdale polar type. And coordinate type potentiometer we can discuss. We are going to discuss Gall, Dinsley, and Campbell Lawson potentiometer. See, mainly we concentrate on Drysdale potentiometer and Gall, Dinsley potentiometer. So this is a basic potentiometer circuitry. As I told you earlier, it has one primary circuitry. This is primary circuitry. This circuit is secondary circuitry. Okay, so good morning. Okay, this primary circuitry consists of battery, a battery here, the rheostat, variable rheostat. This rheostat is used to vary the current in this loop. Okay, in the current, this rheostat is used to set the current in this loop. Actually, this is called slide wire. This is slide wire contact. You called jacky. The jacky is used for moving the slide wire contact. So jacky. This is slide wire. Actually, the slide wire is nothing but a resistive metal resistance, and which in the above the slide wire there is a scale. Slide wire, there is a scale is available with uniform distance. So this scale will help the scale is helpful to measure the length of the contact. Okay, length. So say this is A and B. A and B is length, whose length is consider AB length is say 200 centimeter. 200 centimeter. Suppose this resistive wire, the potentiometer sliding wire, should be uniform in cross section. It should have the resistance per unit length. Okay, the uniform resistance per unit length. Say AB is 200 centimeter length, which is equal to say 400 ohms. 400 ohms. Okay, 400 ohms. Suppose when say J is the contact, so this point take it as C. Okay, so first we have to calibrate the potentiometer. So first step is for every type of potentiometer, first we have to standardize the potentiometer. It's called calibration. So how to calibrate this potentiometer? So normally the slide wire drop across the slide wire. When the current is generated from the battery, it is passing through this slide wire. The current should be very, very low. Why? Because this is a resistive wire. You know, when we pass more current to the resistive wire, sometimes the thin wire may burn. Okay, so to avoid a burning of slide wire, we normally pass very small amount of current. So battery voltage, we should choose very small voltage. So rheostat, the resistance should be more. Okay, resistance should be more here in the rheostat. So the slide wire contact should be very thin, and the drop across the wire should be very small, I square R loss, because of this circulating current. So this part is primary circuit. So if you want to, first step is we have to calibrate the standardize the potentiometer. For that, what we have to do, we have to connect the potentiometer circuitry. This is called secondary circuitry. This is called secondary circuitry. So this is called standard cell. Standard cell. Normally, mostly in industry as well as in the laboratories, the standard cell we consider is Western cadmium cell. Please remember Western cadmium cell. So whose EMF is 1.0186 volt. You see, please realize the standard cell voltage is 1.0186 volt. So it is used to, this is the standard. This cadmium cell is act as a standard for calibrating the potentiometers as well as any voltage measuring devices. So standard cell voltage is 1.0186. So which is first connected through a galvanometer, and you have to close the, one more thing, before actually, I will tell this K. The key should be bypassed by a high resistance. I'll tell you. Okay, so before closing this K, we should move the jockey. After standard cell is connected, we should move the jockey and find the tentative place where the galvanometer shows zero deflection. Understand or not? Because if directly connect the jockey, this standard cell current will affect the slide wire contact. There will be a burn or there will be a short. Okay, so to avoid just type of losses, we normally connect a very high resistance here and move the contact without closing this K. We have to move the jockey. We move the sliding contact over the slide wire and fix where it shows the where the galvanometer shows 0 degree, zero deflection. After that, you close the key so that you can bypass the resistance. Okay, this is high resistance. When you close the key, the current always prefer very low resistance path. So the current never goes this path. So current mainly going through this. Now definitely the position of the balancing condition vary. So now close the key and move the jockey, fix the position. Okay, so when we connect the standard cell to the circuit, if this suppose the balancing condition is at 100 ohm. Okay, at this position. Okay, at this is position. So you note down from the slide wire contact, slide wire scale. There is a scale over the slide wire. From the scale, you measure the length. Say the length is LS. When connect the standard cell, the balance position is LS. Okay, so from that, the drop across A to this L1 position is equal to the standard cell circuitry. So at that condition, what is your voltage? Voltage across A and L1? A and L1 is 1.0186. Okay, so EMF ES equal to some K times L1. Okay, K times L1. So what is K times L1? What is K? K is called potentiometer constant. K is called potentiometer constant. Okay. So ES, the EMF across here is nothing but K times L1 because it is LS. Sorry, LS. So because the length, the resistance across A and L1 is equal to some K times L1. Okay. So the ES is nothing but K times LS. Okay. So what is K? ES by LS. ES by LS is a potentiometer constant. So this is one type of balancing condition. Okay. Another type is you connect the standard cell and place the jockey anywhere here and you adjust this rheostat until you get the zero deflection in the galvanometer. This is another method. First method is connect the standard cell. You connect this switch to standard cell. You adjust this, and you have to find K value. K value. This known. This LS also known. From the scale, it is very easy to measure the length L1 from the scale. The scale mounted on the slide wire. So the standard cell EMF is known and the length is also known. So you can easily find K. K is the potentiometer constant. From that, using this potentiometer constant, we can measure any unknown EMF. Any unknown EMF. Understand? So any unknown EMF you can measure. So this is one type. Another type is you connect the standard cell and place move the jacky and place anywhere. If you want to place anywhere, you can place it and adjust the rheostat. So you can increase or decrease the current in this primary circuitry by adjusting this rheostat. So you can adjust the rheostat until you get the zero deflection in the galvanometer. Once you get the zero deflection in the galvanometer, that means the jacky position AJ of the standard cell position, this drop equal to this drop. That means this drop is 1.0186 volt. Drop across the secondary circuit is 1.0186. You know the resistance here. You know the resistance per unit length. So resistance, this drop as well as this drop equal. This resistance you can easily find. Suppose 100, it is at the 100 ohm position. The total resistance is 400 ohms. At 100, when it is at 100, the resistance is 200 ohms. So you know the drop across A and J is 1.0186 volt, because drop across this branch and this branch are equal. So from that, what you can find? You can find the current flowing through the primary circuitry. This is another way of measuring the calibrating the setup. Understand? Okay. So now, once you calibrate this setup, we have to change the switch from this position to the unknown EMF. So you just now move to unknown EMF. Here also you connect the very high resistance here. The switch K is open. Now move the jacky. So first stage is calibration. Calibration using standard cell. While using standard cell calibration, we can get the K value. So once you get the K value, you keep K equal to ES by LS. ES is 1.0186 divided by LS. We can easily measure from the scale. Understand? Okay. This we found from the standards by connecting this this switch to standard cell point. This is S position. This is unknown position. Now we connect the galvanometer circuit here. Now similar to the previous procedure, we move the jacky to any position. Say note that position as L2. L2 or LU, okay, until you get the zero deflection in the galvanometer. Now, what is the EMF here? Unknown EMF. Unknown EMF is nothing but drop across A and L2. Okay, the L2. So L2, that is your E unknown equal to K times L2. K times L2. So what is unknown EMF? You can, from the standardization, you know ES is 1.0186 equal to K into LS. LS, you know, LS we measured from the length. So ES from the standardization, what is K? K equal to ES by LS. So simply replace here by this. So E unknown EMF equal to ES by LS into L2. into L2. Into L2. So this we will get the unknown EMF value. So similarly, we can measure any value of unknown EMF from this. One more important information: the standard cell EMF is 1.0186. Using the standard cell, we can able to measure maximum of 2 volt or 3 volt across this bridge. So the drop across, maximum drop across A and B normally less than 3 volt. Less than 3 volt. We may not be able to use this potentiometer for very high resistance measurement, sorry, voltage measurement. Okay, so this is limited. So we may not be able to use this potentiometer for very high voltages. So this is less than 3 volt. Also, the standard cell used for this secondary circuit, that is for calibration, is Western cadmium cell, whose EMF is 1.018. The same concept is applicable for all type of potentiometer measurements, even your DC potentiometer, AC potentiometer, calibration of wattmeter, ammeter, for all concept, this is the basic principle. Okay, understand or not? Okay. Next we see. So the basic operation is this primary circuitry and secondary circuitry. If you want to measure two unknown EMF, you can connect one more unknown EMF here. Unknown EMF here. Very simple. Sorry, one more unknown EMF. First, without a standard cell, we can compare two unknown EMF. So first connect this branch to E1, E unknown 1, and balance the wire until you get the zero deflection in the galvanometer. Measure the length. So okay. So E1 equal to K into L1. Then you switch this, switch over to this another unknown position. Now connect here from here to the galvanometer position. Now move the jockey until you get zero deflection in the galvanometer. Note down the length L2. Okay, so E2 equal to EMF across the unknown EMF E2 equal to K, same K. K is constant throughout the, that is K is nothing but potentiometer constant, voltage per centimeter. Voltage per centimeter. Okay, voltage per centimeter. So E2 equal to K times same, K is constant, by into L2. So if you compare these two, what is, you have to divide E1 and E2. So E1 by E2, E1 by E2 equal to L1 by L2. The L1 and L2 are known. Okay, so these two can be measured from the scale mounted over the slide wire potential. Understand? Same concept applicable for all other. Only thing is there is a modification in the primary circuitry and the modification in the slide wire and the contacts. That's why the potentiometer name is different. Okay, this is basic potentiometer. This potentiometer is Crompton's DC potentiometer. These potentiometers are commercially available. Commercially available potentiometers. See, in the previous circuitry, there is a battery and rheostats. So what is the purpose of rheostat? Rheostat for the adjusting the current through the circuitry. Okay, so please note down the procedure, how to standardize and how to use this Crompton's potentiometer for industrial applications. So this is called a commercial type of potentiometer. So Crompton's DC potentiometer is a commercial potentiometer. Okay, so first draw this diagram. So first draw the diagram and list the various components inside the circuit. So in the primary circuitry, there is a battery. Then there are two variable resistance circuitry. One is variable studs. So this is stud based variable resistance, like a regulator fan switch you can see in your home. So you can move in studs, okay, in studs. But this is like a potentiometer, very smooth potentiometer. So this is for fine. Say this is smooth resistance, very fine resistance variation. This is coarse resistance variation. Okay, coarse resistance variation. Similarly, in the potentiometer slide wire circuitry, this A and B is modified. Here, say P and PQ and AC. So PQ is a variable stud contacts. So this variable stud contacts. Okay, say variable stud contacts having 15 divisions of say 150 ohm resistance. Assume 150 ohm resistance having 15 stud contacts. So each stud contact has 0.1 volt. Say this first 0, between 0 and 0.1, 0.1 volt, 0.2 volt, 0.3 volt, 0.4 volt, 0.5 volt, 0.6 volt, etc. up to 1.5 volt. Okay, so this is stud. So the each stud voltage is this A and C is a slide wire, smooth slide wire. These are studs. So the slide wire voltage, from this in this length, this slide wire voltage equal to each stud value of in the contact. This is stud based contact. This is slide wire. Okay, this is a smooth slide wire contact. This stud based contact. So the what is the voltage across here? Maximum 0 and 0.1. 0 and 0.1. Understand? So also in the previous type only one moving contact, sliding contact, whereas here there are two sliding contacts, P1 and P2. So first procedure is calibration, standardization of the Crompton's DC potentiometer. Also in this Crompton's DC potentiometer, there's a double pole triple throw. This is called double pole triple throw. DP-DT, you know. Here double pole triple throw, triple DT. That means this is one pole, this is another pole, but you can have 1, 2, 3, 3 throws. So there are 3 throws. So first we have to standardize the potentiometer circuitry. First we have to standardize. How to standardize? Place the DP-DT switch contacts in the standard cell. See here also you see this is plus. Okay, so standard cell is connected here. So this is Western cadmium standard cell. So first connect the DP-DT switch between this part S plus and S minus position. Okay, so let us consider, you know that what is the EMF of this standard cell? 1.0186, 0186. So for this 1.0186, what you have to do by placing this standard cell between S plus and S1, S minus position. Place this P2 contact in one position, exactly one, this one, okay, exactly one. And the 1 point, this is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.1, 0 to 0.1. So this position is how much? This is 10 divisions. So 0.01. So this position is 0.01, 0, 0.01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 0.1. Understand? So this position is 0.01. So approximately this is 0.0. There are smaller divisions also. There are smaller divisions across between each slide wire contact. So the scale is also similar to that. The scale, the fine scale is here. So you connect P2 at 1 volt and P1 at 0 between exactly 0.0186, approximately 19. You keep it as 19, 0.019. Okay, 0.019. So you connect 0.019 here. That is near to the 0.02. So you connect P1 at this position. So understand or not? To standardize the Crampton's potentiometer, first connect the standard cell through the DP/DT switch. Connect the standard cell. So you know the standard cell potential value. So that value is set in the Crampton stud and the slide wire contact. So exactly place one here. This major value at 1 and the decimal fractional value at this scale around near to 0.02, 0.02, or you can consider this as 0.02 also. So exactly you connect 0.02. Once you connect this, once you place these two positions P1 and P2, you close the key. Close the key. So close the key, check the galvanometer reading, whether shows zero deflection or not. It definitely is not possible. Okay, so check the galvanometer reading. So whether shows zero deflection. Otherwise, you adjust this. If the deflection variation is very large, first adjust using R1. This variable resistor R1, and to get a very closer fine zero deflection, use the fine variable resistance this. So once you adjust these two, once we get zero deflection in the galvanometer, thereafter we should not disturb these two variable resistance. That means what? When we connect the standard cell here between P1 and P2, so the EMF across this are uniform. The current we generated is uniform. Okay, so we are maintaining by adjusting these two, by placing the positions P1, P2, we are maintaining a constant current I. Constant current I. Understand or not? So once you standardize this Crampton's DC potentiometer, we should not disturb the R1 and R2. Understand? Okay. Now we want to measure a unknown resistance. Unknown EMF. Say you connect one unknown EMF here. By that, in that also the terminal is very important. So positive terminal this side positive terminal. So this is 1 plus. So you have to connect another arm here. So place, now move the contact to 1 plus and 1 minus position. Now you close the key, move the potentiometer, place P1 and P2. Okay, so you adjust P1, first place P1 somewhere, say move to say point here. Suppose P2 is here, and you see the galvanometer. So the galvanometer deflection, you know, from the galvanometer deflection, if the deflection is this side, if the galvanometer deflection is right side, this side, the EMF is very less. If it moves this side, EMF is more. So depend on the galvanometer deflection on either side, you can move the course adjustments, the stud adjustment places depend on these values. So by placing the value P2 and P1, you can get, until you get, first place the P2, then move the P1 key until you get the zero deflection. Once say, assume the unknown EMF I placed at 1.1 and at this position. Can you tell me the value? Can we tell me the unknown value of for this position? P2 and P1, please come to chat. When P1 and P2. Assume the I connected some EMF, some EMF source, unknown EMF here. For the unknown EMF, I placed P2 and I am moving this slide wire and I placed at this position. At this position. Can you tell me what is the value here? This is 1.1 volt. This is 0.1, 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05. 0.05. Anybody? Nobody. Yeah. Okay, you note down this 1.1 volt, this is 0.05. So the unknown EMF value is 1.105. 1.105. This is the unknown EMF value. Suppose if I want to measure one more EMF, I connect here, better I change color. So another EMF, unknown EMF, I connect it to 2 plus and 2 minus. Now I am moving the position, switch position to this position. So now I move the P2 somewhere 0.7. So now the P2 position is 0.7. In the P1 position is say this position. This is P1 position. So you can easily tell the first place 0.7, then move the smooth contact until you get the galvanometer deflection. Then you can easily take the reading from the contacts. So 0.7 plus 0.09, 0.08. So 0.708. 0.708 is the 0.708 is the unknown unknown EMF measured from the Crampton. So Crampton potentiometer is very easy because the dials have are calibrated in terms of scale, so you can easily measure the EMF. So this is about the procedure for Crampton's DC potentiometer. A simple for this problem is for understanding purpose. A slide wire potentiometer has working battery. So this called a working battery, or this battery called driving cell. Driving cell. This is standard cell. This one is standard cell. This is a driving cell. So this battery is a driving cell. Okay, this EMF, this cell is standard cell. So the working battery of 3 volts with the negligible resistance, which is, that means it is not having its own internal resistance of the battery, internal resistance. The resistance of this slide wire is 400 ohms and its length is 200 centimeter. A 200 centimeter scale is placed along the slide wire. The slide wire has 1 mm scale divisions. So 1 mm scale divisions. Okay. So 1 mm scale divisions, and it is possible to read up to 1/5 of a divisions. The instrument is standardized with 1.018 volt standard cell with the sliding contact at 101.8 centimeter mark on the scale. Okay. So what is the resistance? What is the resistance? Anybody? What is the resistance? When standardize this, the position is 101.8 centimeter on 200 centimeter scale. So what will be the resistance? Very simple. 101.8 divided by 200 into 400 ohm. That will give you the resistance of the resistance across the bridge, across this slide wire. 10, please calculate and tell me 101.8 divided by 200 into 400. 203.6 ohms. So when the position is at 101 point in the slide wire, the resistance is equal to 203. 203.6. Okay. What is the can you tell me what is the working current in the battery circuit? What is this now? The position is at 101.8. So the battery is 3 volt battery. What will be the working current in this primary circuitry? So you know the EMF is 1.018 and the resistance is 203.6. Calculate the working current. So volt divided by resistance, 1.018 divided by 203.6. So 5 milliampere, 0.005. 5 milliampere current is flowing through the primary circuitry. So 5 milliampere current. Okay. Now, this is 200 centimeter length. The resistance of the entire wire is 400 ohms. So we are placing the standard cell 1.018 volt cell and connecting and place it on the sliding contact exactly at 101.8. The galvanometer shows 0 deflection. So the resistance between the A and the J for this position is 101.8 is 203.6 ohms. So when you balance the bridge like that, the current flowing in the working current is 5 milliampere. The battery EMF is 3 volt. So you can, if these two are, the working current is now standard. Working current is standard because once you standardize this circuitry, we are not going to alter the current in the working circuitry, in the primary circuitry. Okay. Now, this is 5 milliampere. What is the range of when you have the 5 milliampere current in this slide wire? what is the maximum voltage, maximum drop across A and B? What will be the maximum drop? We are having 400 ohm resistance among the 200 centimeter range. So the current is 5 milliampere. So 5 milliampere into 400 ohm, 2 volt. So please understand from this concept, we can able to measure maximum 2 volt. We can measure maximum 2 volt from the potentiometer. That means the measurement of potentiometer circuitry is always the secondary circuit of the potentiometer. The secondary this is secondary circuit of the potentiometer, always less than the battery voltage. You see, the battery voltage is 3 volt in the primary circuitry. In the secondary circuitry, we can able to measure only 2 volt. So in this, if you vary the, suppose unknown EMF is nearly here, the null position is here, so we can measure up to 2 volt only. So the unknown potential we can able to measure is only up to 2 volt. So 2 volt. So to read 1 millivolt, because 1 millimeter scale divisions, okay, the 1 millimeter scale divisions, the 1 millivolt per division. So the resolution of the instrument is 1 by 4 of 1 by 5. See, 1 by 5 of the division. That means the 1 millivolt divided by 5, you will get 0.2 millivolt. Okay, so 0.2 millivolt is the resolution of the potentiometer. So this type of problems will be asked in this potentiometer circuitry. Clear? So please try to understand. Since we can able to measure lesser voltage using potentiometer, if you want to measure or if you want to calibrate very high voltages, suppose if you want to measure 150 volt voltage source, 150 volt or 300 volt voltage source, how to measure using potentiometer? Very simple. Instead of potentiometer, this secondary circuit, so this you connect this position and this is position. This position is positive position, this is negative position. Understand? Please, from this figure, I am noting this terminal T1. Hereafter, if I spell T1 and T2, terminals T1 and T2, that is the here. You better I will mark in different colors. This is T1. T1 is positive. This terminal is T2. Okay. So for high voltages, more than 2 volt, for high voltages, say this position is T1. This terminal is connected to that normal potential, or you can connect here also, no problem. The T1 is connect here, better here. This is a commercial potentiometer. T1 is positive and T2 is negative. Okay, T2 is negative. T1 is positive and T2 is negative. So you connect a T1 to that position. Here this position is T2. So this T1 and T2 we connect in the bridge. Understand? So if we connect suppose the unknown EMF around 150 volt, so connect that source here and common terminal here. So 150 volt and 0 position, and the potentiometer is connected here. This potentiometer is connected here. So what will be the, suppose by we are after connecting these two, we are balancing the the potentiometer by placing P1 and P2, some value we are getting. Okay, so what we are getting is some voltage, some V. Some voltage, say VR equal to VR. We are getting some VR from the Crompton's bridge. Say VR value is 1.8 volts. Assume 1.85 volts. So here there is a this is also called an attenuator. So from high voltage to low voltage conversion, this resistance bridge is called attenuator. So 150, this portion is 150. So whose ohm is 5,000. So 5,000 divided by 500, 5,000 divided by 50. So 5,000 divided by 50 is 100. So K value is 100. 100 times 1.185 or 1.85. Understand that? The unknown potential value is VR equal to actual V equal to 5,000 divided by 50 into the potentiometer reading, whatever the value reading here. Okay.